Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Eduard. That's a 148 scale kit which copies Tempest Mk.V Series 1. As you can see, it is released as a Profipack kit, but later we will see other versions of this plastic. But the most important thing here is that this is a completely new tooled release, and this kit is made by Eduard. We also covered it in several reports from Novemberfest, and now we have it in final commercial form, and you will get exactly the same kit if you order it directly from Eduard or any good web model shop. So as you can see, box design is typical for this manufacturer. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and then on the side we have 6 marking options which are included into this kit, which is quite surprising. Usually in Profipack we have 5 marking options, but because British markings are not that different, I would say, that's why I think it was decided to include 6 options into one boxing. And then from the another side we have QR code for the kit info page. By the way, you can download PDF manual on your PC if you would like to use digital version, and of course some safety information where this kit was made, obviously in Czech Republic. So this is a top opening box, and meanwhile I'm opening it. Let me remind you that we are gathering money for new photo and video equipment, and you can help us too by pressing the donate button on our website. It is easy and it is safe, and of course you will be the one who will decide how much we will get for the new photo and video equipment. So you saw what we had in the box. We are going to start with clear sprue, and what we have here is this round sprue with all necessary parts. So let's zoom in. Now you should be able to see it in the full resolution, I would say. So we have here all necessary clear parts. As you can see, this main section, I think it broke off the sprue, but that's nothing serious, part is intact. Obviously we will be able to replicate the open cockpit on our aircraft, and masks are included into this kit, so no worries about masking this bubble canopy. It won't be difficult with help of special stickers from Eduard. And molding quality is really nice. I will use let's say this, what happened with this clear part, and I will show you how nice the molding quality is. As you can see, it is detailed outside, inside out, and I think there will be also available a T-face set which should cover masks both from inside and outside, so that you can use for even more realistic appearance. Now we have all gray plastic sprues packed into the same plastic bag, so just give me a second. We have to remove them and we will check them one by one. And by the way, the most interesting thing about this release is that we have overtrees available straight away, so that you won't have to let's say wait for the release. And here I am positioning the first gray plastic sprue. You can guess that it is dedicated to wings. As you can see, parts division is typical. We have 2 top halves and 1 bottom. Note that flaps are molded in, so you won't be able to retract them without resorting to the PE set, which is sold separately. But ailerons here are separate, wheel wells should be separate as well. I think this kit will also have the Resin ammo base, which will be sold separately, obviously. And as you can see, detailing is really nice. You should be able to notice that we have nice recessed panel lines and riveting here. So let's focus the camera so that you can see it too. Here they are, all those nice features. So here you can see them. This kit was made with use of the latest technologies in Eduard, so it is really visible from the first sight. All those carefully replicated features should look good after really nice assembly with due care. If we flip over these parts, we have inside the this edge of the flaps will serve as a guiding element, As far as you can see here, we have also position pin here as well, and the same applies here. And by the way, those wing edges will serve as a guiding element too, which is quite surprising. This minor detailing for wheel wells will be handy as well, because once you apply washers there, it will be even better looking section of the aircraft. Next we have fuselage cuffs. Those come in the separate frame. As you can see, we have tail segment molded on both. And note that engine cowling is also pre-molded, which is quite surprising. And level of external detailing is approximately the same as what we saw on the wing parts. So here you can see it. Really nice recessed panel lines and riveting. Here you can see another one. Obviously some hatches and some compartments will be replicated with help of resin kits, which will be sold separately. I'm not sure yet what will be actually copied in resin, but here you can see those parts from the other side. We have position pins, we have also some minor detailing in the cockpit area, and those special slots for exhausts, and this really nice guiding slot for the air intake. And here you can see it from the frontal section. Note the attachment points are really thin, but as you can see, they go onto the edge of the part. So you have to be careful while cutting off these nice fuselage cuffs. Next we have another gray plastic sprue. This one is already full with various minor elements. And here we have parts for external and internal detailing. And those pieces are really impressive, because I can't remember any other Eduard kit with that many tiny parts in the plastic. So here you can see them, and just so that you understand the size, here is comparison with my fingertip. So even though this is a 1/48 scale, be ready to work with tweezers. As far as I can guess, these are cockpit parts. So as you can see, we have even several types of the dashboard. We also have some parts here for the main wheel wells. Here you can see cockpit floor, and let's flip it over. Here we have landing gear legs, and again several types of the dashboard, one with pre-molded dials and another one plain for PE or decals. Here we have several types of the air filter, again landing gear parts, and various parts for internal detailing. Exhausts look nice as far as you can see, but if you, because here you can notice, let's focus the camera properly so that you can notice what we have here on the tips of those exhausts. They are not throughout, there are not holes, so either you have to send them with actually drill them with help of your own tools, or I would just recommend to get resin exhausts. I checked them already, there will be separate review for them, and they have completely different look, so it's worth upgrading your model with such simple, as some say, upgrade, because it will be noticeable that you use different parts. Then here we have plastic sprue with landing gear wheels, also the special missiles, cockpit walls are here. And now let's bring it closer. I would like to show you the missiles and cockpit walls. So here you can see them. Cockpit wall looks really thin, so be careful while separating it off the sprue. Here you can see parts from the landing gear wheels, and let's flip it over. As you can see, we have special raised circle, which will help you with guiding, but obviously Eduard will have resin replacement for this, even though this is quite surprising. Check the level of detailing on these parts. We have tire name molded into the plastic parts. Here you can see it as well. Here it is even better or easier to see here. So it's really impressive, I would say, to have it out of the box, even though we were used to see such stuff on resin replacements. Now we have it out of the box straight away, without need to upgrade for any better parts. But obviously resin replacement will be even more detailed. And here you can see the last gray plastic sprue. We have two large propellers. Obviously these are two different types, but it's really cool that we have attachment points in the middle so that you can easily separate them. Also we have tail wing halves. Each tail wing should be assembled out of two halves. There are position pins inside, so it won't be difficult. Those are cockpit parts. As far as I can see, this is the rear wall, and this one, I'm not sure where it will be used. Propeller hubs are here, also two types. Pilot seat part, and note that here we have this special part for the propeller hub. This is a cockpit top section. And here you can see ailerons, rudder and elevators. Those three are molded as one-piece parts, so you won't have to deal with any separate halves for this. So now we just zoom in and focus, and here you can see this nice recessed panel lines detailing and riveting. It's really cool how all this detailing plays on the light, so don't forget to use some pre-shading in order to bring it out. Here you can see propeller hubs. Here you can see also cockpit parts. Here are tail wings. Again, we just tilted on the light and you can see all detailing here. And here are huge propellers. As you can see, we have small amount of flesh on the tips of those blades, but I think it's not that crucial. It will be easy to clean. And maybe it is due to the molding style, because as you can see, these parts are placed in these large open squares, which really tricky to mold in a, let's say, clean way. And here another interesting thing is this detailing of the landing gear wheel covers. They're detailed, of course, inside as well, and they look really good. Next we have typical bonuses for Profipack. So what we have here is this small mask sheet. Let's try to focus the camera, so here you can see it. It is packed into the separate plastic bag. All stickers are pre-cut, so you just take them off, apply where it is needed, and you will have a nice paint work on your aircraft. Then we have small P thread, which is packed into the separate plastic bag with cardboard. As you can see here, we have parts for cockpit and external detailing, and I'm going to take it out because there is also one interesting feature which is typical for latest P releases from Eduard, and it is necessary to show this feature close. So here you can see it, that we have the lenses effect all over the dials. That's a really cool looking feature. As you can see, you won't have to do anything yourself. You have it out of the box and it will look good on the cockpit, so be sure to use these parts instead of original decals or plastic ones. And of course there are some modelers who still don't like P parts, or maybe they let's say have big fingers, or maybe they just don't like to work with PE parts. And that's why we have this. This is the one and only decal sheet. As you can see, it is not that big, especially in comparison with recent German aircraft releases. This one is absolutely small. And here what we have is decals for the cockpit. And this decal sheet is printed in cartograph, surprisingly. We have stencil section here, and here we have main symbols for this aircraft. I'm not sure if this K should be like this. We have to check the marking option because I'm not that huge specialist in British aircraft, but the printing quality is really cool. Let's bring it closer, and here you can see stencils. And here it is important to show the dashboard because it's really nicely printed symbol, which should be cool looking on the aircraft. As you might have noticed, decals are a bit glossy, which is also a nice effect to have on the decals. And last but not the least is this thing, that's assembly manual, which is printed in form of this large brochure, typical for Eduard. We have short history note in English, And then we have parts map. Note that a lot of parts won't be used, for example this propeller and propeller hub, as well as all missiles in this kit. They will be employed in the later releases of this plastic. Then we start assembly with a pilot seat. We apply the PE seat belts, but obviously you can replace them with steel belts. They will be available as well. As far as I know, there will be also a look set available for this set, for this plastic kit, and maybe I can even show it to you because I have it close to this box. So here it is. As you can see, we have dashboard and seat belts all together, but we'll check it a bit later in the separate video review, so stay tuned. And okay, so we continue assembly with cockpit floor, rear armor wall. We assemble dashboard. Of course, there are options to use the plastic parts with pre-molded dials, plastic parts with decals, and plastic parts with PE parts, and it will be up to you what to use. Or you can buy that look set which I just shown, this one, because here we have this resin dashboard. I will just bring it closer so that you understand what I'm talking about. I mean, that's completely different appearance, and you don't have to do anything. You have it ready out of the box, and that might be handy for some modelers. Next, we have assembly process continued with cockpit walls. Then we assemble all together in order to get the separate cockpit. As you can see, we will be even detailing the side panels. Here we assembled air intake. As you can see, that's quite a complex assembly, surprisingly. Here we have the process of joining fuselage half together, and we close the cockpit and air intake together with rear wheel well. Here we continue with top wing halves. Obviously we will have to assemble the wheel wells, so be sure to align them all together in a nice way. Here we continue this process, and then we close wings together and join wing together with fuselage. Next step will be assembly of the tail surfaces. Here we continue with installation of this cover for the cockpit. As you remember, it is molded as a one-piece part. The only thing which will be a bit tricky is to paint flat black the necessary spots, so you have to use masking. Here we install the tail wheel. We continue with main landing gear wheels, and because we have middle sections molded separately, so you won't have to resort to usage of the masks, because it will be easy to do it without any masks. Here we have installation of the landing gear system, and be sure to have the right alignment of those parts on your model. And of course we have options for the open and closed canopy. Be sure to upgrade the antenna, because as you can see, you can upgrade it with PE part, and also you should use those PE parts for the tail section. Here we have masks application guide. This one will be handy for wheels as well, even though we have separately molded middle sections. Eduard still decided to include the small circle masks. We also have masks for the canopy and for the anti-slip surface areas on the wings, so you can paint them as well without resorting to decals. Here we have first two marking options. This one comes from Great Britain, April 1944. This one is from April 1944 as well, and this one is from 150th wing, and this one is from 486 squadron. Next one comes from the 3rd squadron, May 1944. This one is from number 150 wing and June 1944. And two more marking options. This one is from 486 squadron, June 1944. So basically we have already two aircraft from number 486 squadron, and also two aircraft from number 3 squadron, and this one is from June 1944. And last but not the least is a stenciling guide. Be sure to apply all stencils, because they have great influence on the final appearance of the aircraft, and in this scale it's even more important because you will notice the difference. So that's all for this Profipack set review. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously there will be huge amount of resin and PE sets available from Eduard as well, so that you can order them directly from Eduard together with this kit and build even more ultimate model. It will be up to you. The only thing which might be worth adding as a default, let's say, is to order the exhaust tips because they will be looking good. So it means that this kit can be upgraded to the ultimate model easily, just by buying several kits. And of course, let's not forget about the Royal Class editions. I think there will be also some limited edition kits. And obviously it will be moved to the other series as well, so let's just wait for it. As for this kit, it is recommended to all fans of Royal aircraft forces. And what I'm doing is just checking the aircraft with case. So as you can see, that was the right decal, just to make it sure so that we all know that it is the right way to apply